So hello and welcome to the Expat Pod, and welcome to the shorter quickfire questions section of the podcast. If you haven't already listened to the full episode with Aleksandra and me, please do do so after you've watched this, of course. There should be a link around my finger right now, so you can just move it to a new tab if you want. Aleksandra, this is where I kind of ask my guests some quite silly questions, to be honest with you. It's just quite light-hearted. It's just to kind of get a flavour of your time abroad and understand what it is you've kind of achieved since moving from home. So my first question is always, what's the favourite place you've ever lived?
Oof. That's a very difficult one. Probably, I know it's supposed to be quickfire. Oh my God, so hard. I'm just going to say Turkey.
What did it bring you?
I just think Turkey felt really like home for us because the culture is very similar to my culture and the food is very similar. So I felt very like more comfortable actually than I did in my own country. And the food is amazing. The people are amazing. Everyone's so kind. The scenery is incredible. I mean, just like every aspect that you want to hit of like where you want to live, it was incredible. All over Turkey, honestly. I don't have a favorite. They're all amazing. I loved it.
Incredible. And what's your favorite international food?
Oh my God, you're asking like the most difficult questions because I'm such a foodie. I could literally do like an hour episode just of all my international food. That's amazing. I don't know. I love all food. It's so hard. Oh my God, I can't.
What are you craving right now? What are you having for dinner?
I'm making empanadas. I just made empanadas dough, so I'm gonna make empanadas. Any kind of like anything with bread, some kind of like veggie, I don't know. When I was eating cheese, obviously I ate a lot of cheese in Turkey, a lot of gözleme, but yeah, I'll take a good ramen. I didn't eat ramen when I was in Japan, but now like I'm all about a good plant-based ramen.
Some gyozas?
Yeah, gyozas. I mean, anything. I just love food, honestly. Like all food.
Incredible. What's your favorite international tradition?
Okay, I have to say my favorite tradition is probably taking off the shoes before going into a home. This is what I do in my own culture, but I love that about Japan is that they take their shoes off everywhere. Like you go to a bar and they take off their shoes. You go to a restaurant, they take off their shoes before you sit down. And like, I just love that. I think in general in Japan, I also love just their eating culture. Like they bring you a wet towel before you start your meal. They have like a little basket for your belongings. Like just, it's very intentional and it's all meant to make you very comfortable and enjoy the process of your food, which I love. So I like that.
That's incredible. I'd not even thought that before. What's the best thing about living abroad?
Everything. I think just being out of your routine, because I think routine makes life go by so quick and you wake up and you're like, oh my God, how is it, March already or whatever? How is it 2024 already, And I think when you live somewhere that you're not used to, there's a part of you that's not, your brain doesn't go in routine mode. So you're forced to kind of really live each moment as it comes and just the days become longer and you really just enjoy life more because you don't get caught in that routine and you, like I said, it's just, you're more present because you never know what to expect and you don't have that comfort to rely on. So you're just constantly so present in the moment.
Yeah, completely. That's very true. It's, there's always a problem to solve urgently.
Exactly.
What's your best homesickness remedy?
Watching reality TV.
Any particular show you go to?
Probably like
The Jersey Shore, perhaps?
You got it on the head. Actually, I love my husband and I love me some good Jersey Shore, and it definitely makes you feel like home. It makes you really remember where you came from. Me specifically, being from Jersey. Yeah, we just put on some good reality TV, and it's like really makes you feel like you're not even anywhere far. So it's great.
And you go, I'm glad I'm not there, perhaps, and you're happy where you are now?
Yes, exactly. You're like, I could be there, but I'm happier here. But
wonderful. What's the hardest thing about living abroad?
The hardest thing, obviously, is the language. Like sometimes you just want someone to speak English to that's like a natural English speaker because you forget that luxury of it and communication becomes such a struggle every day. Like even the most basic things you have to like work for. So when you finally meet someone, even like overseas, where you're like traveling overseas and you meet another American or even someone from where you're from, it becomes like such a bond. So I think it's really hard of like not having that and being around so many people where you are an outsider, and it never does feel like home because you are always an outsider. It's obvious by the way you look, by the way you dress, by the way you eat, you speak, and your culture. So you miss you just being you because you're always like somebody else when you're traveling. You can't really be fully who you are, because people don't understand you, you know, so you have to kind of tone it down a little bit.
No, that's a very good point. Yeah, it's the I suppose the requirement to go to autopilot when you're speaking in your own language makes it less tiresome. You're having to think in second languages or third languages or fourth languages, depending on how lucky you are with your languages. Is not an automatic response or situation, perhaps. What's the best phrase you've learned whilst living abroad?
Best phrase.
Like the one that stuck with you most, perhaps, in the many countries you've lived that people just say, or is quite humorous, perhaps, or...
I can't think of a humorous one. I wish I could. The first thing that comes to my mind is just pura vida, which is what they say in Costa Rica. You know, like everywhere, like you drive by, they don't say hi to you. They say pura vida, which means like, you know, pure life or like good life or whatever. So that's kind of like their slogan. So you even like go in a toll booth and they're like pura vida. You're like pura vida, you know, it's like, but no one, it's just like, it's just like what you say. Yeah, that one kind of.
That's beautiful, though. It means pure life. That's just a nice greeting to have.
Yeah. So that's their thing over there. So anywhere you go, if you say that, then you're official.
That's good. What's your best way of making new friends? Obviously, living in so many places, you mentioned about making friends with people you haven't spoken to in a language or communicated with. So what's the best way of doing that for you?
I think just going up to people and just asking them a question and just like being interested in other people and, you know, getting some conversation going, but just being okay to just go up to people. I have no problem doing that. Like I will go up to anybody, anywhere and just start a conversation with them and just being open to that. Like, you know, yeah, I just think the friendship aspect doesn't come from you looking at a person and being like, I want this person to be my friend. It's just you being naturally you and like talking to everybody. And then that person that's meant to connect with you is then going to connect with you. So it's not about you like strategically seeing who you want your friend to be. You just position yourself in a place where your friends are naturally going to attract it to you based on how you're positioning yourself.
That's a very good point. It's, yeah, you've got to tailor it, I suppose, to each individual. What's the best thing to do when you go to a new city? What's the thing you try and find or...
I'm serious. Like, go to a supermarket and figure out where you're going to eat. Because I think that's like my biggest one is I will go to a supermarket first and kind of see what they have and get stocked up because I have issues from my past life. So yeah, and do something like really local. Like I say that when we traveled, like we didn't care to go to the tourist spots. Like we went so many places where we missed iconic tourist spots, but we sat and like did laundry with someone, like, you know what I mean? Like on a corner laundromat, you know, like that for me was more of an experience of like what the locals are doing and how they live their life than like we would see tourists and we would run the other direction. Cause I was like, for a while, I was like, I don't even want to be anywhere near tourists. I just want to live the local life.
The authentic connection is kind of, yeah, that's incredible. What was the best place you've done laundry then?
Oh man, actually Malaysia was crazy because Malaysia, I had to wash my clothes in a bucket. Yeah. And so that was very interesting. In Tokyo was crazy doing laundry because they have the machine that is like one machine is a dryer and a washer. So if you don't do it right, it'll take you 7 hours to do your laundry. And, you know, the characters are all like different characters and they have like gazillion buttons. So I'm like trying with the Google Translate, like with the picture thing, like trying to go over it, trying to see what's dry and what's heat and like... So that's pretty crazy. Cambodia was cool because they had like it was like a bar and a laundromat. Like you do your laundry, you have a drink. Yeah.
I mean, that's a really clever business model.
It's a genius business model.
But like a bowling alley or something would work too.
Yeah, absolutely.
And my last question is, what's your best expat life hack?
I want to say that obviously I do think it's building your community, like of connecting with other people who are doing the same thing as you are so you don't feel so alone. Like I'm sure for you it's been like a blessing probably connecting with other expats because you have your own kind of family and community outside of that, but also not being tied to that. Like, you know, it's okay to feel comfort, but also remember you're not there to be completely comfortable and separate yourself from that. Like don't be too tied into your comforts of your new life that you're building. Like take advantage of the fact that you are somewhere else and do something that makes you uncomfortable like every day. Like just go out there and really like take advantage of why you're there to begin with and don't recreate your routine in just a new place, because if you're having the same routine that you would at home and you're just in a new location, like you're kind of missing the point. So take advantage of the fact that you're somewhere different and just be grateful for it and just like be wild, you know what I mean? Like just try new things.
And find a supermarket.
Exactly. Go to all the supermarkets you can. Live your life.
Well, that was wonderful. Thank you for sharing, and thank you for indulging me in these silly, quick questions.
No,
of
I love
mine.
them.
But
Honestly, I could do this
I
all
find
day.
it's quite a fun way of just ending a long recording session, but also just ticking off some small kind of snippets of life abroad. As always, if you did enjoy the podcast and you did want to share it with your friends, then you're more than welcome to do that. That's how we grow and how we reach more ears. And hopefully you have enjoyed it. And we'll see you next time for the Expat.
Thank you so much for everything.